Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Sport. It's me, Joe Stanley, and I'm here for another video here on the channel. But this time I'm going to be talking to you about the news that Michael Beale was sacked as Rangers manager on Sunday evening after 10 months in charge of the Ibrox club. And well, it didn't go as the planned for Michael Beale at Rangers and at Ibrox Stadium. And come the full-time whistle on Saturday after the 3-1 defeat to Aberdeen and the boos were ringing around. You knew that time was looking likely to be up. There was rumours for the last month or so that he was on the brink, and after Saturday's result, you could see that he was set to leave the club because there was no way that the fan base and the club could continue forward with performances like that and the toxicity around Ibrox Stadium. But yeah, he come in after a promising spell, a short spell, but promising spell at Queen's Park Rangers in the Championship after Rangers decided to get rid of Giovanni van Bronckhorst last season, around October and November time last season, and they brought in Michael Beale, who was obviously assistant under Steven Gerrard, and he was part of that team that brought the league championship back to Ibrox in the 2020 to 21 season, and yeah, it was very good for Rangers to bring that back after, and stop Celtic's 10 in a row and win their 55th title and cement themselves as the most successful British club in football history. But yeah, looking at Michael Beale's records, if you think about it, in charge of Rangers, 43 matches in charge, he won 31, which is a decent amount of wins, really, if you think about it. Drew 4, lost 8, scored 92 goals, conceded 44, won 97 points, which is an average of 2.26 uh, points per match, which gives him a win percentage of 76.74, which isn't the lowest win percentage out there. But it was more, I think it was more his recruitment that's cost him this season. The likes of Sakala and Hadji being sent out, and then you're bringing in the likes of Dessers, who's not really hit the heights. I think Jack Butland, like uh, Boyd said the other day, is the only real summer signing that's really hit the heights and really can hold his head held high. So far this season, the others haven't really lived up to expectations. And Stephen Davis is coming as caretaker. Will he get it full time? I don't know. It probably depends on how well he does and his situation with his coaching badges. But I think everyone at Rangers Football Club probably needs to just get behind Stephen Davis for this period and give him as much support as possible and try and turn the situation around because currently they're sat in third place, 7 points behind Celtic, who are top of the table, and behind St Mirren as well, who are in second, surprisingly flying high this season. Fair play to them. So yeah, it's a difficult one, but yeah, I'm gonna have a look at who could replace Michael Beale at Rangers as well now. In terms of the odds, these are the odds for the next manager. Kevin Muscat, who is a fan favourite, is 10 to 3 on, and the bookies favourite. Got Graham Potter in at 5 to 1, Jesse March 11 to 2. I don't think I can see the American there. Al Hassan, who's got 15 to 2, similar. And in the A got Little Knutston at 8 to 1. Marcelo Bielsa 17 to 2. Gattuso 10 to 1. Not convinced he's not done that great with the various clubs he's managed in Italy. Scott Parker and Ruud van Nistelrooy 16 to 1. Ruud van Nistelrooy is an interesting name. AVB 28 to 1. I can't see him coming back into management. He's been out for a while. Jon Donald Thomason 28 to 1. Been so close to getting back into the playoffs last season. That's been hit and miss so far this season. Now Chris Wilder 28 to 1. Not sure there. John Tay 3 to 1. Don't think so. I can't see that. Michael Carrick 50 to 1 along with Steven Gerrard. Could he return to the Ibrox hot seat? Could he be lured away from the riches of Saudi Arabia and Al Tifaq? I don't know. Michael Carrick's Middlesbrough, they did well last season. They got into the playoffs, but in this season they've started poorly, so I don't know what's happening in there. You got Duncan Ferguson. He's just gone to sit in this Caledonian Thistle. Don't even know why he's on there with all due respect because he didn't really have the greatest spell at Forest Green. Barry Ferguson similar. I don't really know why he's on there. Would you expect Neil Lennon would not get anywhere near the Ibrox hot seat, especially with his Celtic connections. And I don't think anyone would even consider him with all due respect. And obviously he's managed Celtic and Hibernian in recent years with mixed results. And yeah, so I'm gonna take a look at some candidates. From some are on that list and some aren't. I'm gonna look at. Doesn't necessarily mean I think they'll be good appointments or that they will get the job, but the people that I think might be considered. And then I've got a couple in there that are just free agents, and I just thought I'll just chuck in there just for a bit of interest. So we'll start off with Kevin Muscat, the favourite for this position as well. When you're looking at it, you currently imagine Yokohama, 50 years of age, and you're looking at the stats as well. Wow, look at that. Just just look at those stats from Muscat, really. Yeah, all I can say is he's looking solid. He's looking solid with in terms of games. 157 games won, 68 drawn, 95 lost. His team scored 560 goals and conceded 428. And he's got 539 points in his career, an average of 1.68 points and a win percentage of 59.67. In terms of previous clubs manager, he's managed Sint-Truiden and Melbourne Victory as well. So, yeah, he's got an interesting record there, I'd say. He's certainly the favourite with his connections to the club in the past, and I think with the fact that this is Rangers fans forgive me, but with Ange Postecoglou coming in from the Japanese league across and having success at Celtic, and now he's on to Spurs, maybe there's a little bit of thinking of well, it worked for those across the city, appointing someone from that league. So maybe there's just a little bit of thinking in that. As well as the fact that he's won the A League with Melbourne Victory, the J League with Yokohama at the moment, as well as the Japanese Cup. So yeah, it's worth a thought in there. This guy, I don't think he'll be considered, but I just thought it was interesting with him being a free agent. Dean Smith at the moment, 52 years of age, got experience at Walsall, Brentford, Aston Villa, Norwich, and Leicester City most recently. Nearly kept Leicester up on the last day, nearly. I just found it quite interesting that he's managed 605 games in his career, 217 wins, 166 draws, 222 losses. His team scored 155 goals, but crucially, his teams aren't defensively that good because he conceded 841. He's managed to get 817 points for his teams across his career with an average of 1.35, and the win percentage for his career so far is 49.59. So it's nothing really massively to write home about there. My only thought is the fact that, with the fact that he managed to get Aston Villa promoted to the Premier League a couple of seasons back, he might be worth a punt for Rangers. And obviously free agents who won't cost much. Nathan Jones, yeah, another one that's not really had a great time of late in terms of his managerial jobs, but he's 50 years of age. He was recently, the reason why he sprung to my mind was he recently was interviewed saying that he wants to come back into management. He thinks that he wants to, when he gets back into management, have a legacy with his next club like he did at Luton, where he did very well at Luton in his two spells. So yeah, it's certainly an interesting one in terms of that. I see him as a future Wales manager, really, if Rob Page goes. But yeah, you're looking at his previous clubs: Charlton under 21s, Brighton, Caretaker, Luton, Stoke, Luton, Southampton. So Stoke and Southampton, he didn't really set the world alight. He didn't really do well away from Luton. So yeah, it'd be a massive risk, a bit like Beale. So I couldn't really see it happening. 357 matches, 156 wins, 92 draws, 109 losses. 560 points, sorry, 1.57 a game, but his win percentage is a bit average, 56.58. Dean Smith's, but not massively something to write home about, really, when you're looking at managerial options there. Up next, Marcelo Gelado. Bit of an outside choice here, right? Or Gelado, should I say, not Gelado, say. Bit of an outside choice, but bear with, right? Bear with me on this one. So he recently managed River Plate over in Argentina, and if you look at his availability, he's a free agent at the moment. He's had success at National and River Plate, both the clubs that he's managed in his career. 47 years of age. Okay, that might be the language barrier, but I'm sure with some education or translate it can work. It's not caused Marcelo Bielsa, who's another person on my list that I'll come to in a minute, any problems in his career really. He's managed 463 matches, won 255, drawn 166, lost 222. His teams like to score goals. He scored 855 goals, conceded 841, 817 points, amassed during his career so far, 1.35 points per game. So yeah, it's an, it's an interesting one for uh, Marcelo Gelado. But I think, I don't know, I know his win percentage isn't very high come to that, but 49.59. But when you look at the stats on here as well, when you look at his silverware, his cabinet speaks for itself. European, Uruguayan champions 11-12, Copa Sudamericana winner 13-14, Copa Libertadores winner 14-15, 17-18. We Copa Sudamerica winner 14-15, 15-16, and 18-19. Argentinian Cup winners 15-16, 16-17, 18-19. Campeón Supercopa America Argentina 17-18, 19-20. Campeón Trofeo de Campeones 20-21, and Argentinian champions again 2020 to 21. So he's won two titles, domestic league titles, in two different countries, and that is something that is to be considered really when you're thinking about it. When you're thinking about appointments, and maybe an outside side one. But from one Argentinian to another, to just mention Marcelo Bielsa, and we all know about how well he's at Leeds United. He's probably the oldest candidate on this list that I put together, but 68 years of age, current team is the Uruguayan national team. Maybe he could be prized away from international football, I don't know. He's managed the Argentinian team, he's managed the Argentinian Olympic team, which is people might say it's the same thing, but really it's different factions. Because in the men's game, the Olympic teams are the under 23s, and Athletic Bilbao, Newell's Old Boys, Chile, their national team, Leeds United, which we all know the success he had there, Lille, Marseille, Espanyol. Silverware in his cabinet, he's won the Olympic gold medal with Argentina and then won the championship title with Leeds United in the 2019-20 season. And we all know about the wild celebrations there. They did fairly well at Leeds United for a couple of seasons before the club decided to get short of him because they weren't impressed with his performances, but then it just absolutely fell apart for them. And they haven't really recovered since. In terms of career stats, you're looking at this 496 matches, 239 won, 102 drawn, 155 lost, 808 goals for, 644 events. So again, his team's another team that likes to score goals. 819 points, 1.65 points per match, and 58.47 win percentage. So yeah, they're certainly an interesting one on that. Marcelo Bielsa. I don't know whether Rangers will go for him or whether he'll be interested, but he's someone that you could always sound out. Another one, another controversial character, David Martindale at Livingston. He should be given a chance. And my friend Sam said he thinks he'll be. He's one that could have been given a chance at another big club in football at some point. But the problem is obviously his history, uh, where obviously he got jailed in his younger years for apparently something to do with drugs, but and that stuff follows you around. That's stopped clubs going after him. But if a football manager has is giving you a chance to prove to improve yourselves and he might be wanting an opportunity to prove that he has turned that corner and given an opportunity in his career. Why not give him a chance? That's all I'll say. And, he's done well at Livingston. He's looking at 184 matches, 154, drawn 27, lost 53, 174 goals for 496 against. So okay, they conceded more goals than most of the other managers on this list. But in terms of where he's been managing at, with all due respect to Livingston, they're like a mid to lower league table club in SPFL, so it's probably going to be the element of that. He's amassed 189 points so far in his career, with points per match average of 1.41 and a win percentage of 50.37. So yeah, that's an interesting option there, and the fact that he already has knowledge on the league is something that's a plus. Talking of managers with knowledge on the league, would you still like to see the return of this man? Yes, Stephen Gerrard, my boyhood idol. Yeah, I know some Rangers fans will be like, no, no, jump shit, and I understand. And I do get it, I do get it. It must have hurt, in jumping ship, and some people, maybe it's the right opportunity at the wrong time in jumping to Villa. Did wonder at the time whether he should stay another 12 to 18 months at Rangers and then see what happens. But hindsight's a wonderful thing, and gone to Saudi Arabia, which I'm a bit disappointed by. But I don't know. It's interesting to see how he does out there. He sounds some big players over there as well. So yeah, looking at him, he's 43 years of age, so still relatively young in terms of managerial career. He's managed previous clubs for the Liverpool under 18 team, Rangers, as we know, Aston Villa, last man to bring the league title back to Ibrox as well. He's managed 273 matches, won 161, drawn 56, lost 56. It's very random that he's got a drawn loss record that's identical. His team scored 555 goals, conceded 246. He's amassed 539 points so far in his career with a points per match record of 1.97. Win percentage is 69.23. So he's got a very high managerial record despite that stint at Aston Villa as well. And looking at my list, I know I'm not going through the whole list as of yet, but he's got the highest win percentage on this list so far. So yeah, would with him already having knowledge of the club inside out, probably still maintains a slight working relationship with people as well within the club. I think it could work. It just depends on whether he would be interested in coming back to Ibrox from Saudi Arabia, and what sort of compensation package would be required along those lines as well. So yeah, uh, who have we got next on this list? Let's have a look at Mr. Graham Potter. Yeah, Graham Potter, who I've mentioned on the list before. I said I wasn't convinced he would join them. Uh, yeah, but he is a manager without a job at the moment. And looking to rebuild his stock. He won the Swedish Cup at Östersunds in 16-17. Did fairly well at Swansea, which caught the eye of Brighton. Had a solid few years at Brighton, laid the foundations. Serbi's coming and ran with that Brighton and taking Brighton to another level again. Uh, Chelsea wasn't really given a chance. The club didn't mess. You can see it on the Pochettino at the moment. So I don't think that was all down to Potter. It was a miss before he come in. And he's 48 years of age, so he's still relatively young as a manager as well. And he's managed 440 matches, won 185, drawn 116, lost 137, 635 goals for, 527 against, 673 points amassed. That's a point average per game average of 1.53 with a win percentage of 55.45. He likes to play fast, expansive, free-flowing football, which is something that I think would be liked at Ibrox Stadium. I think it's something that Rangers fans would love and would be adapted to as well. I think it would work well as well. I think Stevie Gerrard, as a previous candidate, had Brendan Rodgers' number in his first time, and I think Graham Potter has the same tactical nous with an understanding and analysis with him to stop a Brendan Rodgers title charge. with Celtic. So yeah, I'd like to see Graham Potter how he would do if he was given the chance. My final person is people might say, why are you picking another Liverpool manager? It's going to be another Beale situation, but bear with me. Neil Critchley. He's second spell at Blackpool. So he previously he's 44 years of age, by the way. And previously he's managed Liverpool under 18s, Liverpool under 19s, Liverpool under 21s. He did two Liverpool first team games during the 1920 season. One was a Carabao Cup tie against Aston Villa's first team, which was lost 5-0. And then the other was an FA Cup tie against Shrewsbury Town, which was won 1-0 by his youth team. Um, Carabao Cup tie was played because Liverpool had a game in the Club World Cup the next day and they couldn't play two games in 24 hours with a senior squad. And then the FA Cup tie was their replay fell in a Premier League break and Klopp gave Critch the chance with the uh, under 21s and he took it. And it was at that game and they played very, very well. They were a solid side and Critch did the club and the team credit and the players did as well. His first spell at Blackpool did very, very well. I remember that they got him promotion. QPR didn't really work out after he took it from Beale, but the whole club just seemed to capitulate after that, after Beale walked out, and it just seemed to go into a mess. They're not particularly great at the moment. And then Blackpool, he's in his second spell there. Career stats wise, 239 matches, 105 won, 52 drawn, 82 lost. The majority of them will have been at QPR. Goals 394, 330 against. His master total 367 points, 1.54 points per game, and a 54.81% win percentage. So yeah, and he's a manager who likes to play good, attractive football as well. Got experience from various different managers as well in the game. Was Aston Villa assistant manager as well before going back to Blackpool. So he's got experience with various managers. He's got experience from and knowledge from Klopp. He's learned from Klopp on the gegenpress and different football and tactics there. A little bit from Stevie G, so probably knows a little bit about the Rangers um, role in the club and how it's run. He's done really well at both as well as at Blackpool as well. So and his teams like to score goals. So like most of the managers on this list that I picked, their teams like to score goals. On this list, hmm, the three I'd go for if I was Rangers in shortlist, probably Muscat because he wants a job. He's already come out and said he wants a job and he's got a decent record and I don't know quantity about him for the opposite managers. If you've got money to spend, Graham Potter is an obvious choice. A quality manager with lots of experience home and abroad. And then from a biased perspective, Steven Gerrard bringing back in, he had success previously, so why not again? That's all I'm going to say on that one. Is you could always bring him back. And it might be a controversial choice, and people might say, "Oh, Joe, you're just being biased," and maybe I am. But it's just an option that I would consider if I was Rangers that you had success there. I'm not normally a man that says, want people to go back to the clubs and the previous clubs and stuff. I'm normally like, you close that chapter, don't bother again. But I think it could work. Some managers are made for certain football clubs, and I think he would have great success there. Again, he did well the first time round. He's got Brendan Rodgers' number, so I think he could do well the second time round. But at the end of the day, it's important that Rangers Football Club do their due diligence. And I would like to chuck in that Gallardo as well. I think he'd be a great appointment as well. So there's a fourth. But yeah, as long as the Rangers Football Club do a due diligence test, don't rush into an appointment. Take the time whilst they've got Davis in, because Davis will do all right in the caretaker charge. And assess the options, do scrutinise their studies. We can and try and find someone that is the right fit for a long-term project like Beale was supposed to be. I think that Rangers Football Club will be okay. They just need to find that manager, find a structure and style of play they want to go for, find a transfer structure in place, and then build from there and make sure that that manager is given a fair chance and lasts more than 10 months in charge. But yeah, let us know your thoughts, who you think should be Rangers manager below, and your thoughts on Michael Beale's range. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Let's Talk Sport for more content, and we'll see you all on the channel very soon.